Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, April 13th, 2023. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risk and should only be attempted with funds that you can afford to do without. All right. Pound Aussie throwing another long setup. Two that haven't triggered in. This is the third one. It's trying to go up. Not a big trade, but we'll have to see what happens. Less than 2 minutes to market open. And a new long setup on crude. This is the third trade of the morning. And we're down about 30 ticks at the moment after the first two. Slow price movement this morning, seems like. Unleaded having a really tough time this morning. We picked up getting this short. I'd have to look at it. Soybeans with a long trade as the market opens. And there is a chance to get in that. The YM. Nope, the YM gone too far on that trade. Looking for a new setup on the YM. Too far on the Russell. Soybeans reaching for a target, 14 ticks. But not getting there. Ended up a full point, 4 ticks short. Got as high as 1522. Target at 1523. Crude with one close below the balance line. YM trade stopped out, so we'll look for our next setup there. And a short setup on crude. As the long trade cancels. Russell trade stopped out, so looking for a new setup there as well. Good morning, Miles, Arizona Bob, Mark. Glad you have your coffee, Mark. A filtered short stop and reverse on soybeans. That is the hybrid mode filter, keeping us out of the short with the trend mode indicator being to the long side. So the trend mode indicator is blue. This line right here is showing blue. That is, will only allow a long trade for a stop and reverse at the moment. So since we're in a long, the short trade is filtered out. YM with a new short, 839. And the Russell, I'm afraid there's no getting away from that one. That one is a full stop out. "18-second first bar, so definitely in that trade, and it was a full stop out. Short trade on crude still valid. Not triggered yet. Unleaded with a long trade. I wasn't watching that one. And 20 some odd seconds, probably in that. Looks like it's coming back for another chance. I would definitely I would go 346 on the entry there, with the swing just ahead of that. It's a 5-tick adjustment, but that's still not a terribly large adjustment on unleaded. In the long trade, nonetheless, that is the 5th trade on unleaded. Difficult morning so far. YM, one and done this morning. It will be one and done. Our stop is currently at 822. Picking up target 2 win. And crude rolling over, entering the short trade. YM 811 for the trailer. That was a 20 tick, exactly 20 ticks to target 1. So we would have taken target 1. Russell in a short trade that's a break even. Just stopped out for break even. Unleaded stopping out of its long trade. A difficult morning, and crude hitting target 1 And coming close to target 2, and there's target 2 just hit. So that picks us up 17 and 27, 44 ticks. Gets us positive by 14 ticks. First 2 trades were stop and reverse, or the get in sync, or actually not even get in sync, but in the short trade, 4 seconds after start time, and lots of time to get in that, so definitely should have been in. Then we stop and reverse. No, actually, yeah, we stop and reverse at 96, which would have been a 22 tick risk and a 44 tick loss. The long trade gets us target 1 with the 4 tick adjustment, so 13 ticks plus a tick, actually 2 ticks on the trailer, so we're down 29. No, I know, just 1 tick on the adjusted, so down 30, and then we just got 44 on trade number 3 for a 14 tick net positive. Unleaded trade number 6 is in a long. Trying the long again as crude pushes up. The Russell now in another trade, a long this time, already through target 2, and there is target 3. That's a winner, trailing at 89.9. Soybeans still stuck in a range there of about 4 points, and another 2 more filtered short trades. And so far the trend indicator is still up. And the YM stop at 788. YM looks like did it stop out? I think it missed it by, nope, it hit 788. So the YM is done. 788 from 839. So 51 ticks on the trailer, 20 on the target, 71 tick net, 1 and done. If you didn't use that SMA trade, you would be in this long trade. That's a 28 tick target, and we'll have to see where it goes from there. Pound Aussie triggered and then went immediately to the stop. Oh well. And the Russell, 90.9 for the stop. Targets 3 and 4. Loss, break even, and a win. Let's check. I didn't check how quickly that went through. 2. Oh yeah. 19-second bar there, so I would say there's a very good chance we got into that trade right in there. And money management on the YM trade. Did we get target 1? 19. Yep, hit target 1 on the nose. So 28 ticks and 1 tick on the trailer, 29. 1 and done either way you traded the YM this morning. Good morning, Don. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Monty. Micro Russell stopping out at 91.8. Targets 3 and 4 for 6 points, plus 91.9 from the entry at 89.6. Another 2.3, 8.3 points on that trade. Not a big trade. That, you know, at a single contract position, that's only positions, I should say. That's only about $40 win or so, 41.50. But a solid win. And unleaded, target 1 achieved for target 1 traders. 52 ticks. We got another 28 ticks to go to target 2. Soybeans testing its 50 EMA, but still in the long trade. And the trend indicator still positive, still blue. That short stop and reverse still can become valid if the trend indicator turns red. Pound Aussie did have a break-even trade early. This yellow trade went to almost exactly money management, came back for a 1 pip stop out. So a small loss after spread. And unleaded just missing target 2. Is that it? Yeah, missing target 2 by 1 tick. I would maybe bring your stop on that position up to, and there it gets full target 2 after all. So we got 80 ticks there. Stop is at 353. And we have and the stop and reverse did become valid, so price has gone beyond the entry, so I would mark it out of the existing position and we'll look for a pullback. To get into the short trade. $363 for the stop now. Actually, it went up. It's now 378. It's buried in that bar. It's right up there. And that far up the bar, I think I would, depends on how you want to play that. You keep it down here at 383 or 363, or you go to take the 15 ticks it's giving, and well, actually I would probably go 374. Keep it a couple of ticks, 2 ticks below the 200. Take most of that, but hide it behind the 200 EMA. 378 stops out, as does 374, so didn't matter. The only thing that would have kept you in so far would be just holding the 363 stop below that swing low. And we did get an entry into the short on soybeans. And we have another now you've got a long, it's pot. That one is a little iffy on whether we got into it or not, but it's a break-even trade nonetheless. So loss, 2 break-evens, 1 win. And we can take 2 more trades. Soybeans is short. Now if you kept your stop below the swing at 363, you would have stayed in for this move. And been at 393 now. But that's just too much. Would have been just too much of an adjustment to hold that stop at 363. Although it would have netted us 30 ticks at least, and still trailing at that. I think the 374 would have been a much more realistic point. And that looks like it just, yeah, it got exactly to 374, unfortunately. Yeah, the EMA was at 376, so that would have been the place to put it. That's below the quarter century and a couple of ticks below the 200 EMA. Okay, we would have been at 83.98 and stopped out there. So we would have gotten 35 ticks out of holding it below the swing level. And that ends the session on unleaded. So let's see what Micro NQ has done today. All right, one trade too early, and we definitely unfortunately we get the short stop out. The long, I would say, is most likely avoidable. We just got just a couple of ticks past the entry. All right, there we are. There was our entry. Yeah, that excursion above the entry was within the first 5 seconds, so too fast to catch. And that would have been an avoided trade. Soybeans, target 1 on the short. Stop will come to 1650. 10 tick target. 1675 to 1425. And there is our stop. So our loss on the stop and reverse would have been 1950 to about 16. That's the close of the bar, where you would have marketed out. So 3.5 points, 14 ticks, 50 down 56, and we pick up 10, so we're down 46. The Russell with a long trade that has not triggered. It's still valid, but about to go away because we've got a crossover now. So when this bar closes, it looks like we will have a crossover and we'll get a short setup. Still got a crossover at the moment, so that would actually... Question is, are we going to still have the... Okay, I'll have to look at this. Still have a crossover currently by 1 tick. MNQ is currently flat. Looking for a possible long trade here. And there's the setup, 77.50, 77.5. Micro NQs, and we did touch the 77.5 entry. So in the long trade, right at session highs, three points below the session high. Target 2 on soybeans, trailer at 15.5. Target 2 worth 17 ticks, so now we're down 29. And a short trade. So we do cancel the long and we get a short on the Russell. We got right to the entry. I would say push it down if you didn't get it filled already, to 92.3 if you're trading it. And there we are in the short. And a full loss on, that's loss number 2 on the micro NQ. We had plenty of time to get our order in at that 77.50 entry. This is a bigger trade on the Russell, and we're already trailer at 93.1. And just about time for crude and money management. 92.7 will actually come to 92.2 if you adjusted, or 92.3 if you didn't. It's plotting at 92.3, obviously. Less than a minute to go before our crude oil inventory sessions, not inventory, but 10 a.m. crude session starts, mini session. Looks like we'll come to 92.2 or not. Our close is going to be above that trailing EMA, so we will remain at 92.3 for the moment. And stopping out for break even on the Russell. Oh, that's not nice. Micro NQ did the same thing. And that is the 3rd full loss on the Micro NQ this morning. Three losses in a row. Just got caught up in the back and forth. Consolidating into the session high, set just after market open. That is an EMA 200 EMA trade on crude, so that is a trade we will not take. That is not part of the trade plan, but that's something I just keep on the chart for illustration purposes. That is the trade. These magenta trades are the trade off of the 200 EMA within proximity. Soybeans stop at 14.5. So we have 2 more positions on. So we have 9 ticks on the trailer. And there we go to 14.25. That's 10. So we got 20 ticks on the trailer. So at the moment, gets us just about even. We're still down 9 if we stop out here, meaning we need to get 5 ticks lower. So 15.13. gets us out. Gets us to POQ and ouch. And that is a full loss on the Russell for trade number 6. Actually, that one might have been avoidable. This bar was just 1 second. So that very likely is avoidable. Let's take a look at that one. Alright, looks like we had one excursion in the first 5 seconds and another one in the second, but within 10 seconds, let's do something. 4 seconds. Okay, at 4 seconds we were, or rather at 8 seconds we were down here. We closed on the downside, so I would say that's an avoided trade. And now we have a short. Noisy price action this morning. So that actually, that's not nice. Yeah, no way to avoid that. We do get the loss on that short. That's trade number 6. The Russell is done. So soybeans and 10 a.m. crude mini session are the only things, and pound Aussie. Nothing new there. Final trade on unleaded gas this morning, mitigating our loss there, but that would have been a losing session. And there is a long trade at 87. And that triggers in on crude. $10 a.m. session, first trade is a long, just above the 50 EMA. I have to see what it can do. Soybeans consolidating in its downward move. and stopping out, and we trigger into a long trade at 15.15 flat on soybeans. So we're down 9 ticks. We did stop out at 14.25. From our chase entry at 16.25, so we got our 16.75. So we did get the 10 ticks on each of 2 positions. So down 9 ticks going into trade number 3. So soybeans long and crude is long. And crude taking some heat. Soybeans slowly moving up. And crude back up to 50 EMA. So crude back to its entry, taking another run at the 200 EMA, looks like. All right. Most of our charts are done. Pound Aussie's not doing it. Threw us a few trades. We took a break even and a full loss, but had 3 other long trades that did not trigger. How high has crude been today? We're down 82.65 is the low, so we're about 20, just 20 cents off the low. 83.28, so we're actually pretty tight range. It's 60 cents today. I'm sorry, that was the open. So the low is 60 some odd cents, 63 cents below the open, and just an 80 cent range today. Crude trying to push its way through the 200 EMA. Make something of a rally here. And look like there's money management. So stop 288 and target 12 ticks. This will be the POQ trade for the day, or for this session. Primary target is target 1, therefore we've made our goal. So whatever happens with the rest of this trade, it will be the end of the session, and we will be positive. We'll be at least 13 ticks positive today on this session. And trade number 7 on the Russell would have been a nice winner on the long side. YM and the MNQ also showing strong upward moves. And soybeans back down to the 50 EMA and the entry. All right, crude getting up close to target 2 at 83.06. Got within 1. Soybeans trying another push away from the 50 EMA, but coming back. Target 2, so that completes the session. 2 targets. 12 and 19, 31 ticks. Not a big trade, but solid win nonetheless. Alright, so that and soybeans is right back at the entry again. And pound Aussie not showing much of anything going on. Drifting downward slowly. So are there questions this morning? Those are our only 2 available active charts. Soybeans in the long trade, unleaded flat. It looks like not much going on. So it's looking like time to call it a morning. You're quite welcome, Pamela. Have a good afternoon across the pond. And a stop and reverse short on soybeans. That would be at 12 3/4 with our stop and reverse adjust. Right there. But for the moment, still in the long. And of course, just as I try to shut it down, it does something for us to watch. But and I'm not going anywhere rapidly. But that's our unadjusted entry. And within one of the stop and reverse. Soybeans moving really slowly. Flirting with a stop and reverse, but I said we were shutting it down. I just about lost everybody, and now it stops and reverses. So we go from 15.15 to 12.75. 9 ticks times 4, 36 ticks. So down 45. And it looks like it's just going to muddle around there for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And we will see everybody on Tuesday. Regular schedule next week. Have a good one, Miles. And we'll see everybody Tuesday.